Hello there. This is Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. Welcome. It is the first Wednesday of September. It's September 6th, and it's still hot. It's hot as the blazes out here. So I just want to just check in. I had a thought earlier, or even did it earlier. It's like praying for rain. One, because I had some work done in my yard, planted some flowers a little while ago. So it's like, need the rain. But then when I was thinking about that, it made me wonder, it's like, what else happens when we get the rain that we need? And I know many farmers, many places around the country from north to south and east and west, we got 100-degree temperatures everywhere. And the thing about it is, it's like we need rain. We need rain. We don't need the floods. I know for some places, hurricanes, it's hurricane season. And so, from that's a lot of water. That's a lot of water coming in. We've had mudslides and floods, fires, I think every kind of weather situation, happening. But, at the same time, rain is absolutely good for us. So I just thought about 3 points that I would share with you tonight about praying for rain. And so why do we need rain? And the 3 things I thought about were, one, that rain is refreshing. I don't know if you were ever a kid and, would run outside, maybe grab your boots if it was raining and just go out there and stomp puddles or, just stand there, maybe stick your tongue out and try to catch the rain like you might do with snowflakes in the winter. But just, for some people, standing in rain, standing in water, being near water is such a refreshing experience for them. And so one of the things that you get when it rains is a refreshing. And with that, refreshing, with that kind of downpour, I believe it's a way for ideas to refresh. And if you've ever been, at the end of a river, or you've seen where water gets stuck in places, and that water is still, tends to grow things that aren't good, like mosquitoes and whatever. But, you want water to flow. Water's supposed to flow. And, and with that, you get new things, refreshing happens. Fish, can continue to live in other animals and wildlife and fish life and everything that's in and around the water. And so coming into that, so we get that refreshing. So, even as a writer, with rain, we get that, rain of ideas, to push out those stagnant ones that we need to rain to kind of push out some of those old things that we have been seeing and saying, so that the new can come in. And particularly that even though we are in September, we are still hot. So we haven't hit fall yet. We've got a couple more weeks for that. But in the meantime, it is a good time to kind of clear out some of those old ideas, clear out some of those things that aren't serving us. Okay. So number 2, another thing that rain brings us is growth. As writers, as authors, as people who do this for a living, or even who do this as a hobby, having growth in our life is important, because every living thing grows. That if you're not growing, then like we said in the prior example, you're being stagnant. You're not able to kind of move forward in the things that you need to do. And so growth is necessary in order to move forward. So rain brings growth. Many of like when there is rain on a regular basis, that it shoots up immediately. You cut the grass last week, it rains twice, and you got a whole nother, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, or rather grass that's grown in just a short period of time. But that's the same thing in your life. We need the refreshing rain. We need that growth in our life, because there are many ideas. There are things that need to be watered in our life. Because if we don't water it, if we don't nourish it, if we don't nurture it, then it won't grow. Whether it's your kids, your relationships, your business, your job, your house. If you don't take care of things, you're going to know it. All right. And then just my 3rd point. And this was just a wonderful one. The sound of rain, just like people like to stand out in the rain and hear it. I remember, as a child, or even have read many stories about just that tapping on your window, or hearing it on the roof, depending on where you live, or sitting on a porch and just listening to rain. That sometimes you need another sound to kind of drown out all of that sound, all the noise that's in your head. that's not really doing you any good. That sometimes you need to get kind of on top of, or, get something that covers up or removes, because sometimes we're so inundated with all the noise of the day, all the noise of offices and people and traffic and do this and I need that and all those things that, we need something that's a different sound. Because sometimes, you need a different sound to hear differently, to know that it's time to do something new. That I think that sometimes when it's time to move in your own personal life, that there's a sound, there's a sensation, there's a feeling that this is it. I got to move. I got to make a change. I got to do something. And it's the same in your writing, that, when you get to a place where you're like, you know what? We need to do something different. I need a new sound that, even when you write certain words, it's like they don't have the ring that you're looking for. You need to hear it. So when you read it out loud, which I encourage my authors to do, read it out loud. What does it sound like? Or let someone in your family or your friends read it out loud. What is the sound? Because there's a rhythm, not only to your writing, but a rhythm to life. So how is it? What's the cadence in your book, in your writing, in your life? And so, tonight we're praying for rain for those of you who just need a relief from the 100 degrees, that's happening throughout many cities and states around our country. It's an opportunity to also for refreshing, for growth, and for a new sound in your life. So I'm Valerie McDowell. If you have a book that you want to get started on, if you're stuck and you need some help, I'll put a link down below. I have helped published about 44 books since 2019, and we have some of the most amazing writers and authors who have gone through that process, whether we did those individually and also a couple of hundred people who've gone through my online course. So I'm here to support you, to help you get those books out of your hearts, out of your minds, out of your souls, and onto the printed page. Because, what we do here is we help you to make those dreams come true. No point sitting on that book any longer. Let's get it written, let's get it printed, let's get it published. Let's get it done. All right. So until we meet again, I'm Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. And I'll see you soon.